Our God is unchanged, and so are his mysteries. This testimony came to me today and is worth hearing, for God knows well how to defend himself and demands respect in the Blessed Sacrament.
So I didn't really realize this was happening. I wasn't quite sure what was happening when it was happening, but then it was confirmed to me later on. I was at a mass in a parish, not this one. Not that it would matter where it is. I'd finished distributing communion on my side of the church, and the minister of Holy Communion on the opposite side of the church was still distributing communion. Their line was longer. So I went up to the tabernacle and I emptied the remaining hosts that I had in the golden ciborium into the larger ciborium, intending to put it back into the tabernacle. So I left the empty one down in front of me on the ledge in front of the tabernacle, and I reached with the other one and put it back into the tabernacle. And just as I was reaching in to place it in the tabernacle, I had the sense of, it's like in a flash, something just fell down in front of my face. Just something. Could have been a fly. It was just so quick. What was that? But I was paying attention to the tabernacle, so I closed the tabernacle, I genuflected and went to lift the empty ciborium. And I looked, and there was a host in the bottom of the ciborium. And I thought, how did that get there? I definitely emptied that ciborium. And then I began to think, no, maybe I didn't. No, I did. And then I thought about this thing. I thought, where did that host come from? And then opened the tabernacle, put the host in with the rest of the hosts, closed the tabernacle, lifted the empty ciborium and went into the sacristy to purify the vessels. But it was in there and I was thinking, that's really strange. I'm convinced that host wasn't there because I emptied that ciborium. Later that day, a lady I know well rang me and she said, tell me, did you notice anything strange when you were at the tabernacle today? I said, funny you should say that. Yeah. I says, I have the distinct impression that a host dropped out of the sky onto the ciborium. I says, maybe I'm nuts. She says, no, you're not. And then she told me what she had experienced while she was sitting in the pews. So she was on that side of the church, about 7 or 8 rows from the front. And as the communion line was finishing, a man she'd never seen before, didn't know, didn't recognize, was in the last few people coming up to receive communion. And like everybody else, he received communion. And as she's sitting in her pew, she sees him turn around and walk down the aisle. And as he's walking down the aisle, she sees that he still has the communion in his hand, but isn't consuming it. And so she's a little bit antsy in her seat going, why is he doing that? Why is he walking away with the Eucharist? And so she's watching him like a hawk. And as he gets closer to her, he still hasn't consumed the Holy Eucharist. So she thought to herself, I'm going to have to step out of my pew and just say, listen, you can't walk away with the Holy Communion. You have to consume. So she's about to get up when suddenly, in his hand, the host shot up into the air, about 7 feet in the air. It stopped. It turned around, and then it shot up to the tabernacle, stopped above my head, and then dropped down. And I thought, okay, I'm not nuts. And then she said, there was a woman sitting beside me, and she nearly knocked me out of the pew because she just thumped me and went, did you just see what I saw? And she says, yeah. I said, what was that? And she said, I've never seen anything like that before. For some reason, an unseen angel decided that that host was better off back in the tabernacle than in that man's hand. I don't know why. I don't know who the person is even. She didn't know who the person was. But the angels, their eyes were on it. And for whatever reason, they returned it to the tabernacle.
Those angels have been heard here more than once. Their voices have been distinctly heard. They are wherever the Blessed Sacrament is, and God has a court of angels always protecting him and asks us to do the same. We thank Fr Philip Kemmy in Donegal for his precious testimony. God give us the grace to protect the Blessed Sacrament. Angels overheard. There is a place within the heart of bliss that but the angels hear, for they are near, the place where sounds their own are found in this small corner of the cosmos, where a tear from stone is pulled, where lulled a little while is all the age's pain. Regained 1 hour is paradise ere lost, where cherubs smile to see their secrets caught in this stray power. The voice of man and angel mingles well at this same throne they serve, and harmony, an old rule, yet obeys. For heaven and hell upon a larynx lie, and history in guided sounds aeonic sings again of some reprieve in darkliness long pain.